Okay, so filming at like sunset is probably a terrible idea because the lighting is going to go all over the place. What the f? Getting attacked by birds. Sure, f it, we'll do it anyway. So when people start planning to go to Drachenfest, it's really easy to get hung up on like the fighting and like the wizards and the creatures and the monsters and the armies and all that stuff. And you start thinking loads about buying weapons and armor and stuff like that and what your character's gonna be and the kind of adventures you're gonna go on. And you end up totally forgetting about like the necessities, which aren't anything kind of magic related, like toilet paper and stuff like that, or your toothbrush. And that's the kind of thing that can ruin your entire Drachenfest. So I just thought I'd make a little video just talking about the necessities that are probably a bit more easily overlooked. So the first thing you're going to want to get your hands on is like a plate or a bowl, I find is better, and cutlery. You could probably replace cutlery with a spoon, because it seems like spoons can do just about anything a knife and fork can do. What I tend to do is I don't even bring it with me, I can get them in the town at Drachenfest. I get a bowl and a spoon. That will serve you for like 90% of your dining needs. And just while we're on the topic of like dining equipment, it can be really tempting to get like a drinking horn, and they're really cool, and I definitely recommend you get one if you can. But just talking about necessities, I would probably get like a cup or like a little tankard or something, just because they're easier to clean and you can sit them in places. You don't have to like stick them in the ground. Like the whole problem with drinking horns is you can't really set them down anywhere. You can jam them into the ground sometimes, but if they're full of liquid, you kind of can't just put them down while you go to the bathroom. So get a tankard or a mug or something first and get a horn later. Next is you need to bring a sleeping bag with you. People always ask this all the time. It's like, will I need a sleeping bag? It's hot over there. It's really warm. I don't think I'll need one. Yeah, you will. You definitely will. It can get super duper hot during the day, but as crazy hot as it gets during the day, it gets equally cold at nighttime. It's like the total opposite. So yes, you will definitely need a sleeping bag. Do not even doubt that. Like yeah, a sleeping bag will do you fine for the first night or two, but if you can get yourself a cloak and maybe like a fur or two, if you have the money, you will not regret it at all. Because it gets super cold. The thing that people didn't tell me for the first year or two is maybe think about bringing an air mattress. Like the groups that I've been with have like supplied camp beds. They haven't been super comfortable, and a lot of people, when they go to Drachenfest, they think about like, oh, we want to be like medieval soldiers or warriors. They wouldn't sleep on an air mattress. When it comes down to it though, that's not what you're coming here to do. You're coming to play the most intense game of pretend that you possibly can. That doesn't mean you have to sleep rough or not enjoy sleeping. So don't feel like sleeping on an air mattress or something takes away from the game. Enjoy your sleep, you're allowed, you're on holiday, for God's sakes. Just on a little side note, you're not going to be able to sleep in. It gets way too hot in the morning. You are forced to get up or you will be baked alive. A third point people kind of overlook a lot of the time is like hygiene products. You're going to have to bring shower gel. You're going to have to bring towels. You're going to have to bring shampoo. Your toothbrush and some toothpaste. You're going to need to bring those too. You're not going to be able to get those on site at Drachenfest. And probably the most important thing is bring toilet paper. Jesus Christ. Like there are porta potties everywhere, but it's a really terrible idea to rely on those having like a roll of toilet paper inside them. There's like 10,000 people at this event. A roll of toilet paper is not going to last in a porta potty. And sure, even just from a basic hygiene standard, you're probably best bringing your own anyway. It's going to be way more comfortable on your tush. And next to nobody does this, but you'll be so happy if you do. Bring like a little bottle of like hand sanitizer, just to like wash your, like scrub your hands after doing anything you think you might have caught germs from. Because bacteria spreads super fast at this event. So the next thing you can probably pick up at Drachenfest anyway, but get yourself like a cheap water skin. I think they're like €7 or €8, or you can get like a more expensive like wax bottle type thing. Whatever it is, get yourself something that can hold water, and only you should drink from that. It can get so hot during the days, and like especially with the fighting and stuff going on, there's tons of people walking around being like, oh, you want some water? Here, take some water. Hey, drink a bit of water. Do not drink those people's water. Like those people have the best of intentions, but they've offered that bottle to maybe like 8,000 other people. Do you think not one of them has some kind of illness? Like that happens every year. Tons of people get sick because they're sharing water bottles. Get your own water, only you should drink from it. A lot of people recommend maybe picking up a couple of like protein bars or something before you get to Drachenfest, just to have in your tent. I'm always kind of an idiot and I never really do it, but I can definitely see that it's actually a pretty good idea. Like you might be camped really far away from the town, and if that's the only place you're going to get food, then you're going to be in bits walking up there in the morning. And even then, a lot of the vendors don't open until like 9 or 10 in the morning. So if you're relying on them for breakfast, you might have to wait a little while and walk a little bit if you want to get fed. Another little thing that might slip your mind is have some kind of light source. It might be like, did you see that? It could just be like a little flashlight that you keep in your pocket, but at nighttime it can be super dark, and getting into your tent can actually be kind of treacherous if you have shit lying around during the day. I don't know about anyone else, but I tend to come in either drunk or I've left a huge mess and I will trip over everything because I can't see it. So the solution is like a little flashlight or like a little lamp. Like some people sell them in the town, I think, little in-character light sources. Don't rely on it though, bring your own. Important thing to note is if you're hoping to buy a lot of stuff at Drachenfest, next to nowhere accepts cards, like in the immediate area of Drachenfest as well, even the local actual town. A lot of places won't accept cards, and I don't think anywhere in Drachenfest accept cards. So before you get to Drachenfest, go to an ATM and take out as much cash as you think you're gonna need. Then find me, tell me who you are and where you're keeping your money, and don't get too attached to it. Super important thing that no one seems to ever bring up. Bring insect repellent. There are like horseflies and I guess mosquitoes and ticks. Apparently ticks are actually pretty dangerous. There's like diseases and shit you can catch off of ticks. And horseflies, I've seen a horsefly that's as big as my fucking thumb. Imagine something this big landing on your arm and just biting you with jaws. That's like, it's terrifying. Like people will come to Drachenfest and be like, ooh, I'm a dragon slayer. I hunt monsters my whole life. But one horsefly will send hundreds of people running. Horseflies are terrifying. Then another thing you're gonna wanna bring is sunscreen, because that can actually become kind of a rare commodity, especially in like the blistering heat at Drachenfest. So wear sunscreen if you can get it. Even if it looks kind of cloudy on the week leading up to it, you are going to need it. At least one of the days is going to be super hot. Also bring something you can charge your phone with. There's not really that high a chance that you'll find somewhere to plug in your phone and charge it, but you might want to bring like a solar charger or like those power pack things that you can charge your phone from. And if you don't have one of those, turn your phone off for Drachenfest so it has some charge on it when you need it. You never know what might happen in the case of an emergency. The last thing that I'm going to mention is that there's woods kind of surrounding Drachenfest, and they're actually deceivingly thick. Like there is a chance that if you go in there, you could get turned around and lost pretty easily. Like cool in-character stuff does happen in the woods, but if you're going to go in there and try and find it, tell people where you're going, maybe tell them what direction you're going in, and if you can, try to not go alone. So just be a bit careful. No one really talks about like how easily you can get lost in those woods. So Drachenfest 2016 is just around the corner now. I think it's like I'll be heading off this weekend. Hopefully I'll get another one of these videos up before I go. If I missed anything, or if you think there's something important people don't really talk about that you would need at Drachenfest, leave me a comment down below. It's not just for me, it's for other people who might be going next year. You might save someone's life by leaving a comment. Yeah, if you like this video, you could hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos in general, you could hit the subscribe button. If you know people who maybe are going to Drachenfest or thinking about going to Drachenfest and these tips could be useful to them, feel free to hit the share button down below and share it around a little bit. You can also find me on Twitter and on Facebook and all that jazz if you want to, you know, follow me and have the chat. Yeah, I think that's everything for now. Thank you guys so much for watching.